I met a gypsy.
Here's the one, though. Like, Eli, Pro Motocross Series, Eli, come back next year.
What are you hearing?
Here's what I'll say. On the record, I'll say, man, he was smiling a lot on that podium last weekend.
Yeah.
Man, it would be shocking for a guy that went out in the main event and busted out a jump nobody had been doing and threw down 4 of the fastest laps or 3 of the fastest laps in the first 4. That doesn't seem like a guy that's going to retire, does it?
No.
Right? Like, so I got to imagine we're going to see him race a few more. I love it from a stats piece just because that's going to put him in like some of these other categories of like starts.
Yeah, what does that do for Eli if he races next year?
He basically so if you think about it.
So how old will he be next year? 32?
32, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, 32. He'll be 32 in November.
That's still young, dude.
Yeah, I mean, relatively speaking,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, in normal, in everyday
moto
life.
Yeah.
Like that's super young. And in moto, it's still pretty young. I just look at it. There's 4 stats that are like the primary stats to think about for all time. You got wins, podiums, starts, and points. Like for full history of the sport, we know what those are, right? There's no question mark around those things. Like we should be able to get it. There's some places where we don't have like somebody got to start. There's some gaps in the history, but for the most part, those 4 stats are ones. If Eli races if he races the rest of this year and all of next year, he's basically going to finish in both Supercross and in Pro Motocross as top 3 in all 4 of those categories.
Wins, starts, and podiums.
And points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Top 3 in everything.
And everything. And like, listen, he's not going to have RC's 15 championships, right? He's not going to have McGrath's 7 Supercross championships. And, but dude, like that's why I call him all-time Eli. Like you just got to look at him and be like, it's fucking amazing.
Dude.
Like it's one thing. He's got 6 championships, right? He's got the 2 Supercross and 4 pro motocross if memory serves. He's got wins galore on both of those things. And to do that for that long, like we haven't seen that ever.
That's
like we saw it with Reedy.
Yeah.
Right? Reedy did it. Wyndham did it in Laraco. But like, and Reedy, I got to be careful because like the end, there was the last 4 or 5 years wasn't a lot of winning, right? Wasn't a lot of great performance, but he was still doing it. So you got to be careful of recency bias. But like Wyndham and Laraco, impressive long careers, but didn't win at the same level, right? Like they won like
they're not top 3
15,
in any of the other.
Yeah, they're top 25, top 30, but they're not top 3. Right. And so to me, Eli is just, you look at the numbers. I love it. I love
There's something
seeing that
to
stuff.
be said there. Like I'm trying to think of like because you think of like a Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a LeBron James.
Yep.
You know, it's like LeBron James might not be Michael Jordan, but like he's 40.
I know.
And still just piling on points and
so
wins
hard.
And you know, so it's like to be that guy or to be like Tom
Brady
won
his
at
last
40.
He won his last Super Bowl, I think, at 42.
Dude, Kelly Slater, 50. You know, so there is like this class of athlete. Kelly Slater owns everything. But, you know, like to be the guy that went the longest, going the hardest, like that's kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I've never thought about it.
Yeah. There's a longevity piece to it, but there's
a winning longevity piece.
Yeah. It's like he's won. There's 2 things. There's 2 numbers. I shared the one before, 10 seasons in a row with a Supercross victory. He's won at least 1 race, any class, Supercross or motocross, for 15 straight years. The next, I can't remember who it is. The next longest streak like that is 13 years. So consecutive, right? And so 15 straight years of
and
at least
winning.
Again
next year.
And you've got to assume like he's got to get 1, right? Now, granted, round 10 or 11 here this year I was like, man, just get that 1 more. Come on, get one, like you want to see it. It's an impressive run. I just think his career. The thing that also, I look back at the way his parents managed his amateur career. Right? Like that to me is they would hold him back from doing the grind that a lot of the other top guys did as amateurs, right? you've got to assume some of that plays in factors, and both of them being incredible stars in their own right on mountain bikes, and how that factors to Eli's career and his longevity and being able to perform at the level. But either way, I just look at it. It's pretty badass.
And we basically have Jett Lawrence to thank for that.
Tell me more, because he's here and now we.
Because this is my opinion. I think Jett's comments at the Phoenix press conferences
fired him up.
That's where you saw a definitive change in Eli.
Yeah, he got pissed.
And he's been pissed.
Yeah.
He stayed
and
pissed.
And then was it Lewis that I had to ask him about retirement and that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, so like, dude, I just don't think that we see this from Eli without Jett.
I like the theory. Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. I've heard from that camp that there's a belief that you don't retire on top. Somebody else has to take the throne from you, right? Is the belief. And I think that's his dad's view, maybe more so. I don't know for sure. It's just what I've heard through the pit, right? And he's putting up a fight. Like, you can't look at the last 5 rounds and not say that Eli's working his ass off to compete. So, and dude, it's impressive. It's just so cool.
Yeah, I just think it like cements his legacy.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got, it's crazy on both sides of the coin. You know, you've got Jett that has the ability to beat that guy.
Dude.
You know, in his first year. Like,
so
that's
cool.
Unbelievable. But then you've got Eli who has the ability to beat that guy.
Yeah.
Who's the freak of all freaks. And he's 10 years younger than you. And, you know, like the level of dog that you have to have in you to like still go and to go 10 races getting beat down. Like,
that's not easy.
Bro, I can tell you right now, Eli Tomac had some dark days.
Oh, no doubt.
Between round 1 and round 10.
Why am I doing this?
And
there's got to be a few of those in there, right?
Watching Cooper.
He's human.
Watching Cooper do better than him.
Yeah.
Like, no one thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Eli would have been the last.
He's a competitor. Person. Yeah. Nobody wants it.
And, you know, you think of who's been able to bring that out of Eli. And who have you ever seen make Eli have the reaction that he did towards, you know, answering some of the media questions and like.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, what Jett did has really relit something. Because imagine how hard it would be. 15 years of winning.
Dude.
To just keep showing up and keep trying to win. You've made millions of dollars.
So hard.
You've got your entire retirement just planned out, waiting to happen. He's into cars. He's got daughters. He's got a ranch. He's like, he's got everything. He won life. And all of that is just waiting for him to go back and enjoy.
Hey.
And this one little Australian fuck shows up. and it relights a fire that gives us like another potentially couple years of
amazing
of America's late like superstar in Eli Tomac.
You know, another potential theory. I've got a 6-month-old at home, old guy here with a youngin, and I love him to death, and I love family time. But Eli, like, that's hard. The race is probably a break. He's got 3 kiddos at home, man. I asked him at San Diego, I'm like, man, 3 kiddos. I have no idea how you're doing it, right? And obviously he loves his kids. But man, it's hard. Like, I'm sure there's a side of that's like, oh, I want to be home and just spend time there. But like, it's probably also just motivating, right?
See ya.
Again, like, dude, when you're on the road, it's funny. Stuart, when he's on the when James is on the road, it's like, hey, you want to, come grab a drink or whatever. And on a Friday night, he's like, dude, I'm away from the kids. I want to go back to my hotel room
and just sit in silence.
put my feet up, put on the TV, and kick back in silence.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, there's something to be said for that. Right. I've talked to Brayton about it. Like, and he's like, yeah, it's hard. He's like, you love your family and you want to do that, but then you go to the races and it's like a break to it, but then you also can focus. And anyhow,
I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm the most selfish person when it comes to that shit. Because we don't have kids yet. So
yeah. Dude, amazing. It's amazing. I think everybody should do it. And I say that now, and I'm closer to 50 than 40. So, yeah.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the GYPSY gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. GYPSY gang.